Hi, I'm Chef Chantal, and today I'd like to introduce myself to you by presenting a very simple, kind of sexy little recipe that's very easy to prepare. You don't have to do any measurements. You just kind of watch what I do and you can replicate it at home. What we're going to do tonight is it's a fillet of fresh wild salmon that I'm going to wrap with some beautiful Italian prosciutto di Parma. It's gorgeous. It's a little bit difficult to take apart, but with a little bit of patience, because all good things come to those who wait, it works very nicely. So this is the fresh fillet of wild salmon. It's gorgeous. You go to your fishmonger and they'll take the bones out, and it's quite lovely. Here you can see this is where the little bones were, but they're all gone now. I like to leave the skin on. You can see how beautiful and glossy it is. The skin is full of the fish oils that are really good for us. And when you cook it nicely and crisp, it's like a potato chip with lots of flavor, fishy flavor, which is nice. So, to start with, we're going to cover up the beautiful fillet part with this gorgeous Italian prosciutto di Parma, which, like I said, takes a while. This recipe is beautiful for maybe a nice little brunch with your girlfriends, you know, or maybe a romantic dinner with your amor. What's nice about it, it's very healthy. This prosciutto di Parma is actually, you can see it has a little bit of fat, but it's so little. The rest of it is completely lean. It's gorgeous. I'm going to wrap also on the other side, just because it holds it all together beautifully, and it's more beautiful, smoky Italian flavor, which is good. So we just keep going. I find to peel this apart, you can buy this prosciutto di Parma in specialty stores, and it actually is better if you let it come a little bit to room temperature to peel it apart. When it's really cold, straight from the refrigerator, it's a pain in the bottom. But anyways, but warm, see, oh well, one stays, but the rest comes apart. So you just keep wrapping it like you're wrapping a baby's diaper or something. Or, well, God forbid this is my child's diaper, but you can imagine you're trying to gently, sweetly wrap up a beautiful present that you want to give to someone that you love. And you're wrapping it with gorgeous Italian ham. So you just peel apart, very easy. And you just want to make a very pretty, tight package. So that's that. Very nice. We show a little bit of salmon, so we see what we have actually underneath there. Now I've got my pan. I'm going to pop up the fire nice and high. And I'm going to add some beautiful extra virgin, obviously everything is extra virgin but anymore, but you know, some nice French olive oil. Just a little bit. It's got a beautiful green color to it. Okay, so we're getting this oil nice and hot. You want it really good and hot. Now, what we're going to do with this is we're going to saute the flesh side that I've covered with the prosciutto di Parma. Then we're going to pop it in the oven for about 3 to 4 minutes. This is a good 8-ounce portion of salmon, so that's pretty big. Myself, I like the salmon not too well done. I like it a little bit rosy pink on the inside. Not raw. I don't want to have sushi salmon, but you know, still moist and tender in the inside. And I find for this size, you know, about 3 to 4 minutes. 4 minutes works really nicely. You'll see when I bring it out, to tell how it's done, you use your hands, you use your fingers, and you touch it. And if you have a resistance, like right now when I touch it, it's raw. It's mushy. You know it's raw. Once it's cooked, the prosciutto di Parma is going to get nice and crisp. So obviously you're going to have resistance from that. But when you push a little bit more, you'll also feel resistance in the fish. So that shows you it's done. After this, well, let me see how we're doing. You see my oil? I'm just about causing a fire because it's getting smoky. So what we're going to do very gently, very carefully, when you're presenting food to hot oil, you never want to go from a high elevation. You know, it's natural to feel scared. This is hot. I don't want to go close to it. But in fact, the higher you let things drop, things splatter and you have injury. So what you do is you treat it you appreciate that it's very hot and you go very close. Now this is extremely hot, but it's fine, it's controlled. I'm presenting it straight in. I'm going to let it for a little while. I want it to really crisp up and brown right here. And it's doing that right now. You can see, I can see it getting opaque around here. And I feel now it's hot, it's made a nice sear, and I like to, I'm turning off the fire and I'm going to put it in a very hot oven. This is about 475. And we're just going to let it finish cooking like that. Very simple. You don't have to touch it anymore. It's doing its own thing all by itself. I like to put it in the oven instead of doing it all on the stove top, because the stove, you're getting heat only from one source, only from one direction. So it has a tendency, it cooks, you know, only in one direction. And when you take it away, one side is very well done, but the other side is not well done. And with a beautiful flesh like this wild salmon, you get tough, and then you get the nice part, and it's not consistent. It's not nice for me. And plus, it gets messy. In the oven, it's very nice because you're getting heat all around, and this way, everything is cooking kind of simultaneously, cooking from all sides into the center, and the center is the last to cook. So there you get that nice, moist, rosy flesh that you otherwise would lose if you did it all on the stovetop. And like I said, I'm kind of lazy. I don't like to do too much cleanup. So this way, I don't mess up my stove too much. It's the oven I mess up. And if you're at home, you have a self-cleaning oven, it's very easy. It cleans itself. So I think we've had maybe about... so anyways, I think maybe now we have had about 4 minutes, and the fish is probably done. And I have a nice towel here so I don't burn myself. Here we go. Our beautiful fish is done. You can see how beautiful and crisp this got. And you see when I touch it, obviously the ham is crisp. But there you can see as I touch the fish, it comes in, but it's not spongy. Well, in fact it is. It's got a resistant sponge, but it's not mushy. And I know that this is done. And if we look on the other side, this is the skin side, which is beautifully crisp, and the prosciutto is crisp, and it's just a glossy gorgeousness. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to put our fish over here, and we're just going to keep it nice and warm while we finish our salad. We're going to present our fish over a beautiful cannellini bean salad with a warm tomato, onion, and fresh herb vinaigrette with a zest of lemon, and it's nice and refreshing. So we have the juice from our salmon, which is delicious, with the pan drippings of the prosciutto. And this has a beautiful smoky flavor, which is going to permeate the vinaigrette for our warm salad. And this dish, when you talk a lot, normally when you're at home and you're cooking, you're very quiet, or you have your friends with you and you start to talk a lot. And when you have your friends with you, if you're a nice hostess, you invite them to have a little glass of wine. And this is what I invite you to do right now with me, because my throat is getting parched. So we're going to have a little glass of wine while this gorgeous oil that has the beautiful flavors of our fish and prosciutto in it warms up. Okay?